Good morning, dear students. Welcome to social studies class. So, in the previous class, I have explained you topography of India. Yes, that is the northern mountains and plains of India. Yes. So, in the previous class, we have discussed about the Himalayan mountains. Yes, and the important peaks of the India's, and along with the northern plains is so it include the Ganga basin and the Brahmaputra basin and the Satluj basin. Yes, so we have discussed about these contents. So in today's class we are going to discuss about the plateau and the desert regions. Yes, so let us see what is plateau. Yes, so plateau, it is a fairly wide area on flat land rising sharply from the surrounding area, and it is also called as tableland. Yes, so simple definition, that is it is also called as a tableland, that is it is a flat land. Yes, so that is considered as a plateau. Yes, so let us discuss about the plateau and desert regions. Yes, so this is a picture of clouds. Yes, and we are your friendly monsoon clouds. Yes, so these are the clouds, and these are very friendly monsoon clouds that brings cooling drops of rain in the hot months of June to September. Yes, so monsoon season, it will between the June to September. Yes, and they cross the Indian Ocean and hit the Kerala coast in the first week of June. Yes, and later they spread out over a major part of the country. Yes, and they are called as Varsha. Yes, yes, and at present we have a cloud's eye view of the entire, yes, that is peninsula plateau. It is a huge triangle of old mountains. Yes, so you can observe here tablelands and fast flowing rivers with thundering waterfalls. Yes, so you can observe here the geographical features of India. Yes, so in the northern part of the India, there are Himalaya range. Yes, if you go to the west side, there is a desert. Yes, if you go to the middle part of the India, there is a central highlands. Yes, below the central highlands there is a Deccan plateau, and western side there is a western ghat, in the eastern side there is a eastern ghat. Okay, so this is the geographical features of India. Yes, and the peninsular plateau, it is one of the oldest landform on the earth that begins from the south of the northern plains, and it extends all the way down to the south of India, and the regions is rocky and uneven. Yes, and has several hill ranges and fast flowing rivers. Yes, so peninsular plateau, it extends from the northern plains toward the south India. Yes, so it has included by the regions of rocky and uneven. Yes, and it has several hill ranges, and there are so many fast flowing rivers also. Okay, we fill up the rivers during the monsoon seasons. Yes, that is the monsoon, they fill up the rivers during the monsoon season, and the soil that found here is mostly black or red in color. Yes, so in the Deccan plateau, the soil that is a black soil or in the red color soil. Okay, so next one is the hills and ghats. Yes, so you can observe here the prominent hills, that is the ranges are there. Yes, and the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and eastern part of Kerala lies in this region. Yes, and we can see the blue ribbon of river Narmada. Yes, So river Narmada, that is between the Vindhyas ranges. Okay. So river Narmada, you can find here the Vindhyas ranges. Okay. So it this is the river which divides the plateau into two distinct regions, that is the central highland is towards the north and the Deccan plateau. Yes, the central highland and the Deccan plateau, it is divided by the river Narmada. Yes, and the region south of the Satpura range comprises the Deccan plateau. Yes, so Deccan plateau, it comprises Satpura range. Yes, so you can observe here. So Satpura range, it is in the Deccan plateau, whereas the central highland, it is divided by the, or the Deccan plateau, it is divided by the Narmada river. Yes, and let us discuss about the Deccan plateau. Yes, so this is the Deccan plateau. As we over the largest plateau of India, we see this vast triangle tract of land which is broadest in central India and narrows down toward the south. Yes, so the Deccan plateau, it has a triangle shape, and this is the Deccan plateau. It lies between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Yes, so the Deccan plateau, it lies between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Yes, you can observe here, the Western Ghat is in the west side and the Eastern Ghats, they are in the eastern side of the India. Yes, and river Narmada and the Satpura range form its northern boundary. Yes, in the northern there is a river Narmada, and in the southern part there is a Satpura range. So these are the boundary of Deccan plateau. Next one is the Western Ghats. Yes, so you can observe here the location of the Western Ghats in this picture. So Western Ghats are a long continuous range of hills. Yes, and the Nilgiris, the Annamalai hills and the Cardamom hills are a part of this range. Yes, so you can find out here some of the important hills like Nilgiri is there, Annamalai is there, and Cardamom hills is there. In the Karnataka, Kudremukha, it is also important hill station is there, and in the Maharashtra, Sahyadri. Yes, so these are the ranges, hill ranges of the Western Ghats. Okay, next one is the Eastern Ghats. Yes, the Eastern Ghats are smaller hill ranges, and unlike the Western Ghats. Yes, you can observe here. So these are the smaller hill ranges. So this is not similar to the Western Ghats, and it is not a continuous Ghats. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Yes, if you compare to the Western Ghats, so that is Eastern Ghat. So Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Next, yes, so there are 6 main rivers in the Deccan plateau with many tributaries. Yes, in the Deccan plateau there are prominent 6 rivers. So they have tributaries. Yes, like the prominent river Mahanandi. Yes, Mahanadi is there, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. Yes, that flows from the west towards the east and drain into the Bay of Bengal. Yes, so these are the prominent rivers that flow from the west towards the east, and lastly they meets to the Bay of Bengal. And this is because the plateau is higher in the west and the slopes towards the east. And river Godavari, it is also known as the Dakshin Ganga. Yes, so river Godavari, it is also known as the Dakshin Ganga. Yes, so in the northern part of the India, so Ganga, that is a prominent river, whereas in the, if you compare to the southern part of the India, so Godavari, it is also known as the Dakshin Ganga. Yes, and river Narmada and Tapi, that is Tapti, flows west and it is also drains to the Arabian Sea. Okay, next one is the Jog Falls. Yes, So the Jog Falls, it is a very prominent falls which is in Karnataka, that is in Shivamogga district. Yes, so it is created by the Sharavati river. Yes, and as the rivers are rain fed, the volume of water in them fluctuates from season to season, and that is depending upon the amount of rain received. And we do not try to ensure that we fill up all those rivers, and if we are good, most of them get flooded during the monsoons. Yes, if the rain, if we got heaviest rain, so all the rivers get flooded during the monsoon season. Yes, but to fulfill the water needs of all living beings during the dry months, so many dams have been built on the rivers and to store the water. Yes, so in the summer, so there is a lack of water. If you want to fulfill the rivers, so government has built up so many dams, and that dams are fulfill the rivers. Yes, and these are called as multi-purpose dam. Yes, that stored water is used for generating electricity, for irrigation, and for domestic and industrial purpose. Yes, so this is all about the rivers. Okay, so thank you for watching video. In the next class we are going to discuss about the Central Highland. Okay, thank you.